This is Listen Lakeland, the show that keeps you up to date on all the things that make our city a great place to live, work, and play. Today's host has built her career over the past 15 years in the nonprofit industry. She's currently the Director of Development and Community Relations for Peace River Center and is a board member of Lakeland Vision. Please welcome your host for this episode of Listen Lakeland, Ileana Kniss.
Welcome to the good life.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Ileana Kniss, and it's great to be hosting this month's episode of Listen Lakeland. This show is an extension of Lakeland Vision. For over 2 decades, Lakeland Vision has been a voice for the citizens of Lakeland, working with the community stakeholders to create a bright future for our city. Today on Listen Lakeland, we're going to feature a profile on the Carol Jenkins Barnett United Way Children's Resource Center. And so today we have with us Gretchen Ceranic, and she's the Director of Success by 6. And she's going to tell us all about the programs there and the great new location and the history behind the center. Welcome, Gretchen.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Welcome. And just, I guess, start off by telling us who Gretchen is and how you got to the center.
Okay. So I grew up in Florida, in Lutz, actually. Went to USF and graduated there. Did a little bit of work with Hillsborough County School Boards before I went in the Marine Corps. I did 10 years in the Marine Corps, came back and settled in Lakeland, married 3 kids, and have been here for almost 20 years.
Wow, the Marine Corps. That must have been a great experience.
It was.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
I have great memories, and it really helped shape me, so I'm happy.
So tell me a little bit about how you found out about the Success by 6 program and how you became the director there.
So I started just recently this year, about, I think it's been about 6 months now. Prior to that, I had been working as the Director of Children, Youth, and Families at Shepherd's Community in South Lakeland, and just really have a passion for children and development and helping families, navigate the world of parenting. And so I have had some friends that worked at the United Way and had been looking and saw a position open up, and it just was the right fit. So I've been there since, like I said, since May.
Well, that's great. So I want to tell the listeners a little bit about Lakeland Vision. Before we dive deep into discussion. So Lakeland Vision collaborates with a broad range of community stakeholders to implement a comprehensive action plan that's shaped by the community. And today I want to focus on one of our lifelong education focus areas. So we have a couple of focus areas, and lifelong education is one of them. So, and there is a subset of that, which is early start, so early education. So one of the things that is in the document, in the strategies, is that Lakeland will prepare every child to succeed. So can you tell us the history behind Success by 6, the center, and how we meet that goal of every child set to succeed?
So Success by 6 was started in 1995 by Carol Jenkins Barnett. She really had a passion for early childhood development. She had seen that those are the formative years. And so if you start focusing on issues or delays or things, once the child is in school, it's often too late. There's a saying that if you start behind, you stay behind. And so she traveled quite a bit, did a lot of research, and spoke with a lot of early development leaders, and realized that 0 to 6 was instrumental in really preparing children to succeed in life and giving them that foundation, that social, emotional foundation to help them really do well and be prepared for school.
So tell me a little bit more about that, and how does someone access the services at the Success by 6 Center?
So Success by 6 is really an umbrella that houses several different initiatives. And one of them is the Children's Resource Center that just opened up. Previously, it was Family Fundamentals in downtown Lakeland on the third floor of the Children's Museum. And when Carol passed away last year, they wanted to honor her and all the work that she did with children and families, and renamed the center the Carol Jenkins Barnett United Way Children's Resource Center. And we have the privilege and the honor of moving with the museum to Bonnet Springs Park. So we're still located with them. We have some shared spaces, which is really wonderful. And I'm trying to think.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit more then about how children access the services.
Thank you for bringing me back. So we have all of our services are online. It gives details about each class. We have 0 to 5 classes that are focused for children specifically, with focus on literacy and school readiness. And so our classes are free. They are not a drop-off class, so we encourage the caregiver or the parent to participate actively. Again, building that foundation of learning so that the parents are engaged, and a lot of the lessons and skills that they learn in the classes they can take back home and participate in learning opportunities at home. And like I said, it's online. You check our website, check Facebook, and we have a new Instagram page. So classes are published weekly. You can go on, reserve your space. Because class sizes are limited, we ask people to reserve a space. If you have to cancel, you can cancel online, and then people can fill that spot. We also allow people to walk in. Obviously, sometimes something comes up, an emergency, so parents can walk into classes because there may be an opening.
So tell me a little bit more about the classes. You keep mentioning classes, and so what does a typical class look like?
So like I said, we have 0 to 5, and each class is focused on that particular age group with developmentally appropriate songs and activities. We have a master teacher that teaches within a space called a model classroom, and this classroom is set up in a way that most child care centers should be designed, where they have different areas of exploration, such as housekeeping, dramatic play, where they can play with puppets. We have an art station. We have a science station, manipulatives, so they can go around the room with their caregiver and explore the theme of the day in multiple ways. At the end of the class, each child gets a book to build their home library, because the focus is so much on literacy, because we know reading is the foundation of all learning. You can't do math if you can't read. So those are our classes that are held at the Resource Center, but we do all kinds of other services for children and families. We do a infant massage class that is held every month. We have free developmental screenings for children. So if you have a concern about maybe a delay that you're seeing in your child, whether it's speech or physical, you can schedule for a developmental screening. Those are monthly. We also have a sign language class for kids to help with communication, and that's open to all kids, whether hearing or hearing impaired. But that does lessen frustration with the child and the parent, because they can communicate. We also have a healthcare navigator at our site that comes weekly. So if you have any questions about how to get your kid enrolled in kid care or family healthcare concerns, you can schedule that with a bilingual healthcare navigator. So those are just some of the things that we offer.
Very good. So what I hear you saying then, really, it is a resource center. It's not necessarily built on that you have. It's an educational piece, but there's so much more to it, right? So the kids are coming and interacting with the parents, but they're also learning new skills. You're starting with the building blocks of parent-child interaction and helping helping them grow together and the child grow. So I hear a lot of resources. What other resources are the parents offered if you see maybe some struggle in the family? Do you offer them additional resources even for the parent to continue their education, or how does that connect to what you guys do?
Yep. That's a great point. Part of the goal of the Children's Resource Center is that we are like a one-stop shop where parents can come for one thing and leave with other resources or services to help with parenting and with their families. And we have a partnership with about 38 different agencies that support children and families. Peace River is one of them. Achievement Academy is another one of them. So if we see a concern, we can point them in a direction of one of these other partner agencies. We meet with these partner agencies on a regular basis to find out what's going on. The health department is another one of our agencies that we work with very closely. So again, we're able to share that information with these other agencies to support families. We also are part of the United Way. So of course, we know the United Way is always out doing things to support families and people in the community. And 211 is a great resource for families. If it's an easy way to call, just that number. If you have any kind of needs, whether it's electric bills or housing, healthcare, any kind of resources that you may need, that is a great way to help families.
Sure. So you mentioned a little bit earlier about Bonnet Springs Park, and you just moved into this beautiful new location. How do you see that benefiting some of the programs that you offer? Is there room for expansion or new types of programs and activities that this new center brings?
Yes, and it is all very exciting. It's beautiful. If you haven't been to Bonnet Springs Park, I encourage you to go. The museum is incredible. And I did mention we have this partnership with the museum. So we have some shared spaces where we can host different classes or support groups, which is wonderful. And, downtown, it was a wonderful space, but it was hard to get to, hard to park often. We want to serve those families in need and that need us the most. And so it's wonderful being at the park because it's free to get in. It's free to park. And then after you attend one of our classes or services, you have the park as a free enrichment opportunity for you and your child to kind of expand on that learning and that connection and that bonding. And so that is just wonderful, and we're so grateful. I look out the window and I see families, playing and connecting, and so it's wonderful. And then in addition to that, they can go into the museum and continue that enrichment.
Sure. So that's great. I actually had the opportunity to visit shortly with you guys at the ribbon cutting of the center. So it is a beautiful location. And we talked a little bit about the services being free. And it's a great location, obviously, for the services to be provided free. You have access to a lot of things. So tell me a little bit more about your funding and your funding revenue. How does the Success by Six program get funded?
So we have supporters. We just had a wonderful Women United event. They are one of our wonderful supporters. And we also have the opportunity to have some naming ways for different businesses and organizations in the community. Go on our website if you're interested in sponsoring one of our centers within the classroom or sponsoring the conference room. You have that opportunity to have your name associated with that.
So Success by Six is a program of the United Way and therefore is a nonprofit, a 501c3 organization.
Correct.
And so you accept donations for any of your programs.
That's correct.
Okay, very good. So is there anything else that you would want to tell us about the educational programs offered at Success by Six and in collaboration maybe with the museum?
So we are looking to expand, and one of my goals for 2023, we just got approved as a autism-friendly site through USF CARD, which is the Center for Autism and Related Disabilities. So that just happened, I think, on Monday. So we're really excited about that. They've come out, they've toured our space, and they have a write-up on their USF card directory for families. And so autism is becoming, more and more diagnosed in families. And so there is a great need for services for ASD families. And so for 2023, that is definitely something that we aim to provide, whether it's a support group or classes to support those families. We also are working with the Achievement Academy to host a parenting class. Since COVID, one of the biggest things that we keep hearing is the lack of connection, that missing that in-person experience. It's wonderful to have Zoom, and it's wonderful to have a support group online or on Facebook, but it doesn't hold a candle to sitting next to somebody and sharing experiences and making that connection in person. So we are really looking forward to having these in-person groups specifically for families. And like I said, this parenting class, we're really excited about. It's coming in 2023 to help families that are pregnant and getting ready to experience this wonderful, life-changing opportunity, this experience with a new child. And then after that, a post-parenting class. After the baby's born, all of the things that you need to do and understand to be successful and help build that foundation for that baby.
That's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear about the autism designation. I know there's not a lot of services right now for individuals out there that are looking for additional help with that. So tell me a little bit more about, you mentioned the Women's United group. So if someone's interested in participating and helping support Success by Six, how do they become part of the United Way?
So we have all kinds of volunteer opportunities. I will talk about some of the initiatives under Success by Six because there are some volunteer opportunities there. One of them is Reading Pals. It is a wonderful program that pairs up a volunteer mentor with a kindergarten student. We have about 14 different schools in the county. So if you drive by a particular school that's on that list, you can sign up for that school. It's 1 hour once a week, and you're paired up with 4 students. So for the first 30 minutes, you have two little kindergarten buddies. You read books, you make reading fun, you talk about literacy, and the kids absolutely love it. And then the second 30 minutes, you have 2 other kids. So for the whole year, you have these 4 little friends that you make, and you really make a difference in their life because you give that one-on-one reading focused attention that a teacher can't do in a classroom full of 20 students. So if someone is out there in Lakeland is interested, has some time and really has a passion for children, please by all means go to the United Way website, look under Reading Pals. There's an application. There's also a number you can call to speak with someone if you have some more questions. But it is a great, great opportunity to really, like I said, make a difference and volunteer. We also have an opportunity to be a tax prep assistant at the Children's Resource Center. It is January through April, and it's on Thursdays for about 4 hours. So it's once a week. If you would like to volunteer in that way, please contact me. Go to the United Way website and look for Success by Six, and you can find me there. But that's another great way to get involved and give back. And then Women United. If you any woman out there that wants to join is welcome, and they do a lot of wonderful things in the community and specifically through the United Way.
Sure. Thank you so much for that. So I wanted to talk a little bit more too about some success stories. Tell me maybe some of the things that you've seen and some of the great connections that have been made, or how children have developed because some of the programs at Success by Six.
So one of the programs that I did not mention was the Master Teacher Program. That is also under the umbrella of Success by Six. And This is where we have our master teachers that go out into the community and go into childcare sites and really work one-on-one for 20 days straight with the director and the teacher, really changing the way they operate as far as creating these developmental centers, creating a curriculum, making sure that discipline is a positive reinforcement, and again, building on that literacy foundation. And so these master teachers go in and they do a post-evaluation before they start, and then after the 20 days, they do a pre-evaluation, then they do a post-evaluation. And the numbers there are always over 50% improvement where the kids are engaged, they're focused, they're learning, and the teachers are on task, and they're doing these qualifying things that make learning really important. And so that is a wonderful way that we see success and a positive outcome. As far as our classes, we see that every day. Every day that we have a class, we see a beautiful interaction between that child and that parent. And so it's really wonderful and encouraging to see that.
That's great. I know you've only been there for about 6 months, so I'm sure you've probably heard a lot more about some of those successes and maybe some return visitors.
Most of our families are return families. They see the value and they see the fun that the kids are having, and so they really bring siblings back and bring kids back over time.
That's great. I love to hear that. As Peace River Center, I'm also a staff member at the Peace River Center here in town. And so I know that there's a lot of parent-child interaction that's crucial to a child's development. And I'm sure that you get to see those developmental successes on a regular basis. So you get to have your heart filled with joy of all these successes. And can you tell us a little bit more about your staff that you have on hand and how they just, I guess, communicate and connect these parents a little bit more? Can we dive deep into your staff? How many staff do you have and what they do?
So under Success by Six, I think we have 6 or 7 offhand. We've had a little bit of staff changes, so I apologize for that. But we have 3 master teachers, 1 at the site, 2 out in the community, like I said, in those childcare sites, and they are amazing, really have a passion for children. We have our Reading Pals coordinator that, like I mentioned earlier, connects those mentors with the children in the different schools that need a little bit of extra help. We have a visitation coordinator on site at the Children's Resource Center. This is not something that is necessarily open to the community because they work directly with the courts, and they provide supervised visitation for children that have been removed from the home. And she does a wonderful job, again, of not just watching the interaction, but getting down on the floor and mentoring and modeling appropriate parental behavior with that child, because a lot of these families just haven't had that shown to them. And so she does a wonderful job with that and also provides resources for these families. Another one of the initiatives under Success by Six is our Born Learning Initiative. And some of you out in Lakeland may have seen our Born Learning Trail at some different parks here in Lakeland, where it's just a sign by a sidewalk that encourages parents to interact with their child. It tells them, count how many circles you see on the ground. Look up at the sky and tell me what you see. That is a wonderful initiative that is just, again, building that foundation of making learning fun, connecting parent with child, and building that bond. So the Born Learning Initiative also provides resources that our teachers and our visitation coordinator can give to parents to take home and put on the fridge, and as a reminder of ways to interact and build that connection.
So you said you had a few staff changes on hand. So are there any employment opportunities right now? So if our listeners are out there listening and they love and have a passion for children and education, where would they find that information as well?
So on the United Way website, there are job openings, I know, through the United Way right now with some navigators, some healthcare navigators. So that would be an opportunity for people in Lakeland if they were interested.
So do you want to give our listeners some contact information? Do you know that website? And is there a way that they can contact you directly? Would you be open to them emailing you or contacting you at Success by 6?
Of course, yeah. The website is UWCF for UnitedWayCentralFlorida.org. And if they want to go directly to our page, it is /resource center. And then feel free to contact me via email anytime, Gretchen.Ceranic, Ceranic, at UWCF.org.
And so before we leave here today, is there anything you would like for our listeners to know about you and the center and maybe some of the vision of the United Way moving forward?
Sure. Like I said, we're at Bonnet Springs Park. We welcome you to come out. If you're there, by all means, stop in. You don't have to sign up or be enrolled in a class. You are welcome to come in anytime. We have information you can take with you. We have resources that you can take with you, again, focused on families and children 0 to 5. And we just really want people to know where we are and what we're doing in the community.
Okay, so before you go, do you want to tell us about any important dates at the center or anything else you'd like for our listeners to know?
Sure. Coming up in 2023, we have the opportunity, like I said earlier, about the tax prep, starting in January, the end of January, and running until April, every Thursday from 12:30 to 4:30. You can come in and sit with someone who can help you with your taxes. That is also online. You can check out more information about that. And then we also will be having a financial stability class, which you will need to sign up for and register. More information will be also on our website. But that is another class with one of our partners, the Mulberry Community Service Center, that they will be hosting at our site for families that just need a little bit of help getting out of debt, saving, budgeting. So we're really excited about both of those programs.
So you said both of those programs are free to anyone in the city of Lakeland?
Correct.
Okay. And so you can find out more information on your website and have to register to be able to attend those classes.
Sure. And they can call or email me anytime if they have questions or want more information.
Very good. Is there anything else you'd like for us to know before we close out the program and talk about?
I don't think so. I think we covered it all. It's a wonderful program. Like I said, I hope more people learn about it, share about this opportunity with their friends and neighbors, especially if you know families with young children. We encourage them to come out and, like I said, see us. We have resources they can take with them. And we also do have walk-in opportunities. So if a class is full online, oftentimes an emergency comes up, and so we have availability. So if you're out at the park and you want to pop in, you've heard about our classes but have never attended, stop by because there may be an opening that you can just pop in and join.
Sure. And as always, everyone, our listeners, remember 211 is a great referral resource. Place to go. You can just Google 211, call 211 to get connected to additional resources. So thank you again, Gretchen. It's been great. Like I said, I've been not lifelong, but I've been in the Lakeland area for long enough to know about resources here with the United Way and Success by 6, but I did not know about some of the programming, and I'm very excited to learn about some of the new things that you have going on there at the new center and at the new location at Bonnet Springs Park. And so thank you again to our listeners for tuning in to Listen Lakeland. Your feedback is valuable, and we encourage you to head over to our website at www.lakelandvision.org to participate in our monthly survey related to today's show topic.
Welcome to the good life.
Listen Lakeland is brought to you as a collaborative project between Lakeland Vision, the City of Lakeland, and Hall Communications, a community working together to provide an exceptional quality of life. Thank you for being with us.